What's up, everyone? Welcome to Bluegrass State of Mind, the show where three college roommates talk life, sports, and all the ridiculous things that happen in an apartment we like to refer to as Room 302. We're bringing you stories, hot takes, and the kind of late-night debates that probably should have stayed in the group chat.
So grab your headphones, sit back, and get ready for a wild ride through our past college life, sports, and everything in between. Let's get into it. This is Bluegrass State of Mind.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Bluegrass State of Mind. This is actually take two. We had to redo it because Colton's signal, something happened. So they're laughing because I started out the episode singing a good old Rocky Top song. So I'm going to start it again. Rocky Top, you talk a big game. Fill that place and scream all night. 4 straight losses in your own house. Choking it all away. No Final Fours in sight. Yes, sir.
Goodbye,
Woo.
Rocky Top.
I'm going to go ahead and start out the same way I do it. Shout out Hayden French Thomas. I hope you're listening. Shout out Kayla Paulin. Shout out to my boy Steve Webb. Probably ain't listening. Shout out to my preacher man, Jack Honeycutt. Any Tennessee fans out there? Any of y'all?
That L.
Hold the L. Man, what a game. So tonight we're going to be talking a lot of Kentucky stuff. We will also have another episode Friday that will be released. We're actually releasing this episode on Martin Luther King Day today. So just a little special. Had to do it because of the big game. We would have loved to have went live on Saturday, but we all had plans going on, couldn't get to it because we do enjoy doing that. We love getting fans on there, especially after a big win after that. But let's get right into the game. You know, leading into this game, Kentucky is on a 2-game win streak, playing decent basketball recently for the Missouri game. They had the last second shot, the first half, like what's going on? Then you come out and take it all back and you win the game. We come into this game right now. We're 2-2 in SEC play. Tennessee came in as well, 2-2. We were also our record in general was 11-6, and they were 12-5. Both were 2-2, like I said, in SEC play. So this is one of those momentum games. Both teams were 1 game out of first place in the SEC, so a lot to play for. A lot of big games in the SEC on Saturday. But as far as the game goes, some more things to just know for those who are not aware of this. So coming into this game, Tennessee's home record, this is what I gathered. I don't know if this is exactly right, but it's pretty close because I looked at 2 of them and they were a little different, but they were pretty much the same. But Tennessee's home record since 2020 is 83-4 versus everyone else but Kentucky. Tennessee's home record coming into the game since 2020 was 1-4. Now it's currently 1-5. Hold that L. And then also something very interesting. Tennessee was 102-2 at halftime in Knoxville. And the 2 games that they lost were against, you guessed it, Kentucky. It was last year and this year. Mark Pope is now undefeated still in Knoxville. There is so much we can unpack from this game, but I think that what we should do is we've built it up, like what the stakes going into this game. So now let's talk about the first half. What did go right, what didn't go right. Mason, right away, first half only, not the game in itself, just the first half.
Yep. Well, guess what, guys? We got off to another slow start, just like we had the past 3 games. I mean, you look back, Mississippi State, last 3 games we won. Mississippi State, we were down double digits in the first half. LSU, we're down double digits in the first half. Tennessee, we're down double digits in the first half. And it was just looking, you kind of get to that point, like Brittany had to go lay Brees down at halftime, and she texted me, I was like, how do I watch the game right now on my phone? And I was like, you don't want to watch it right now. We're down 16. Like, you don't want to watch this. And she was like, well, they came back last game and won. And I was like, yeah, Tennessee's a little different than LSU, though. But, I mean, they just came out, and they were getting whatever they wanted inside. I mean, they were going down low time and time again, getting whatever they wanted over and over and over. And I was like, man, it is going to be a long night if we do not do something different because they are just scoring at will we go through another drought there towards, I think it was about the second half of the first half, where we went 7 minutes without a field goal. They pushed the lead up to 16, 18, whatever it was. So it was just looking like another one of those games where, we're not really playing hard, can't score on the offensive end. They're kind of getting whatever they want on our defensive end. And it was ugly to start. I'll say that. First half was ugly.
Mason, one thing I think you kind of got into, but you didn't really go in depth with it, was what you consistently was texting the first half, and it was zone, go zone, go zone, go zone. You cannot guard a man, and we finally did there one or two times towards the end of the half, and got a couple stops there.
And they finished the half 1 for 9 from the field. After he went zone, they finished 1 for 9 from the field the first half. I'm pretty sure.
Mark Pope might be calling up Coach Rowland to join the staff.
Just put a little earpiece in his ear for me. Go zone.
Coach, as bad as we played, that you were just think in the first half, when you're looking at the percentages, our field goal percentage, we were 10 for 23 collectively together. But our 3-point percentage, we were 5 for 14, which is 35.7%. I mean, hitting 5 threes in the half, I mean, that's not terrible whatsoever. So what as bad as we played, I guess what kind of kept it to where we could make a comeback? Because obviously I think if it gets like 25-ish, like that's a different story. It may not be with this Kentucky team. What do I know? But like, I thought the very end, we cut it, I think it was to 11 right at the half. I could be totally wrong. I think it was 11?
Yeah.
Okay. And kind of what do you think went right towards the end of the half for us to get some momentum, what we call momentum, going into that second half?
Well, we just, for the first 12 to 14 minutes, we turned the ball over so much. It wasn't like we weren't like shooting the ball that bad. Like you list off those percentages, like we were just either like not getting a shot off, or we were turning it over, or they were getting an offensive rebound. Like it's not like we were actually like shooting the ball that terrible, or we weren't doing, but when we got a shot off, we were doing fine. And then finally those last like 4 or 5 minutes, like you said, he went to zone. We stopped them from they missed shots. We didn't give up offensive rebounds, and we didn't turn the ball over that much in the end of the half compared to what we did the first 15 minutes of the first half. Well, I mean, that makes a big difference when you're actually being able to get your shots up and you're not giving them second chance opportunities. So, I mean, to me, that's what kept us in the game enough to where we corrected both those issues. Like it continued to the second half. Like, so, I mean, we're talking just the first half, but when you get to go into the second half, like that was a big reason why we were able to do what we did in the second half.
Well, my take on it, so I've heard your two opinions on it, but, for me, kind of one of the bigger things that helped for momentum as well and just help us stay alive, and was just, I think, really our only spark in the first half was our freshman Jasper Johnson.
I was going to say that too.
I think that's a big, we definitely need to give him applause for that. I mean, coming in, he was instant offense. He hit 2 or 3 threes, hit a couple floaters. And again, our last episode, I said, I think he's the most crucial part for us to be like, to reach our ceiling. Now, for us to be successful, yes, it's going to take more than, but like for us to reach our ceiling. And, I think that was a really good step for him, not only for just the game itself, but just for his confidence and knowing that, okay, my team believes in me. My coach still believes in me. It's just the right fit at the right time. And this was a breakout game, I think, for him. Now, do I think he's going to come into the game against Texas and play just all kinds of minutes? Maybe. But more so than anything, I think that he's gained the trust of the coaching staff and his teammates. And I think that was just great for him. It was good for the program to see, and the fan. I've seen a lot of people loving what they were seeing from Jasper Johnson. But now let's get into, I guess, the game itself. I'm going to break down some stats for you all. So I'm just going to straight up ask you all, after I give these stats, I'd like for you all to give me your MVP of the game, and then we can talk more of it, because I think it's interesting. I think there's a lot of different ways you could go and look at this. So starting with Andrei Yelovich, he had 5 points. He only played 11 minutes and 47 seconds. This is one of those games that he just it wasn't his fit. Malachi Marino did have I guess one of his worst games. He had only 3 points, 2 assists. He did have 4 blocks and then 6 rebounds. You had Otega Oweh, 12 points, 1 assist, 2 steals, and then he had 2 rebounds. Denzel Aberdeen, 22 points, 2 assists, 2 steals. Cam Williams only had 2 points. Jasper Johnson, 12 points, 4 assists. He led the team with assists. Colin Chandler, 12 points, 2 assists. And then you had Mohamed Diabate, who had 10 points and 6 total rebounds. So if I had to ask you all, before we get into the second half, who is your overall MVP for this game? Cohen, I'm going to start with you. Who would be your MVP?
I mean, I feel like I don't know who y'all are going to say, but I feel like I feel like it should be Aberdeen, right? Like, are y'all going to? I mean,
I'm just curious.
Yeah, I mean, Aberdeen's mine. I mean, I just think that he's starting to kind of like, I think him and Oweh have found something to where neither one of them have to necessarily be the guy, but they can be guys, like plural. And they found a balance of where, like, when Aberdeen gets his chance to attack, he attacks. When Oweh gets his chance to attack, he attacks. And they've kind of fed off of each other a little more. And it's allowed Aberdeen to, I think, be in a more comfortable spot and, like, be the point guard up here, try to create the whole play by himself. Like, let's let Oweh roll off a screen and, like, have to check, like, do these things. And so, I mean, to me, it's Aberdeen. I mean, he scored 17 points in the LSU game, all in the second half. And then he turned around and beat that by scoring 18 points in the second half of the Tennessee game. So, I mean, I think it's definitely got to be Aberdeen.
Yeah, I mean, I think absolutely Aberdeen is definitely probably the best choice. I'm going to go a different direction, though, since you chose him. I'm going to go with Colin Chandler. I think Colin Chandler was a big game for him just because and that's what we keep talking about, shooters. When you have shooters, you're able to spread the floor out, which opens up the lanes for Aberdeen and Otega Oweh to get in there. And Colin Chandler, he hit, was it 4 threes? He hit 4 threes. And also, I thought his defense was great. That is the kind of consistency, though, we've got to have with him game in and game out. Because sometimes he's kind of like a wild monkey. Like, what's going on? Like, where are you at? Like, you're going everywhere. But I think Colin Chandler would be my MVP after Denzel Aberdeen, since you chose him. Mason, you can choose somebody else if you want, or you can go the same one, whichever one you want.
Yeah, I was going to kind of go like first half MVP, second half MVP. So I mean,
Okay.
like Jasper Johnson in the first half. I mean, he kept us in it, right? You've already mentioned it. He came in, provided us a spark. I know he didn't play as much in the second half or as well in the second half, but I think we just kind of got into a rhythm. You know, Aberdeen kind of got going. Oweh didn't really get going to about the last 10 minutes, but I thought Johnson played really, really well, Dylan, like you pointed out. And if he can do that the rest of the season, then yes, I think he can absolutely, run the point for us moving forward. It was good to see him do this against a more physical team like Tennessee, right? That was one of my worries that I kind of mentioned and pointed out. But I thought he did a really good job, especially in the first half, of scoring some, keeping us in it, within striking distance. And then in the second half, he had a couple good passes. I know there was one point I was texting, screaming, get the ball to Moreno, and I think it was 2 possessions later.
Yeah, he threw it.
Jasper made a great pass.
Cross court.
Got an and one, I think, out of it or something. So, yeah, I think he played really well. And then, of course, Aberdeen in the second half just found his rhythm. He was getting to his spots, kind of getting whatever he wanted, being aggressive, getting downhill, knocking down open looks. If he can, I've noticed he's such like a confidence player, right? If he knocks down 1 or 2 threes, he just gets in a groove, right? I mean, he's going to keep shooting them. They're going to keep going in. He's going to be able to get a pump fake and get by his guy, get in the lane, get a little floater going. So, yeah, I'm going to go with those 2.
So, going into the second half, we did cut it to 11. Tennessee was up 17 points at one point in the first half, just like LSU was up. I think it was 18 points at one point. We did outscore, though, Tennessee in the second half, 49-36. The biggest lead that we ever had was 3. And like I said, their biggest lead that they had was 17. As far as bench points, we did outscore their bench 36-22. And then our second chance points was 19 to their 7. I think one of the most interesting stats, and just like it's just mind blowing. Actually, there's two stats I want to throw out there. No, three. I'll give you three. So first off, Tennessee didn't score in the last 5 minutes a single field goal. Okay, all right, that's my first one. The second one is Kentucky only led for 14 seconds of the game. There was only one lead change in the entire game. And then my last stat of the night for those and for you two is that Kentucky and SEC play right now is number one in 3-point field goal percentage at 38.7% in conference play.
Who would have thought that?
So now let's get to the nitty gritty. Colton, we talked about on our last, I said it word for word. I said, listen, Tennessee is a different place than going to LSU. When you get down this much at Tennessee, it's hard to come back. Like that, I just didn't see that happening. One, I didn't see us falling down that much again. I could see it, but I was like, nah, we're probably not. It'd probably be like a 10, 11 the whole game consistency. And then we do that, and it's a replica exactly of the LSU game. Is this the Comeback Cats part 2? Like, is this our identity? Like, I know it's not a fun, like, in all seriousness, like, it's not like, okay, this is their idea. But, like, serious, though. We're starting to see a trend here. Is this something that this team is capable of doing? What's Mark Pope throwing in the water at halftime? Is he giving them, some people say the MJ juice? That don't do nothing. It'd be the LeBron juice, probably, that would give him a little spark. But
yeah, there you go.
What, is this our identity? Like, what is your take right now? First off, you said that if we went into Tennessee, you're back. So I want to hear you say it. I want to hear you say you're back, and then I want to hear your thoughts.
I'm back.
No.
But here comes the but.
Yeah, like I said from the LSU game, the biggest thing I take away from this game too is that obviously the effort is still there. Like these guys aren't giving up. And that shows a lot because look, yes, obviously we came away with these wins. Because I don't want to have to think if we'd have lost the last two games by how they were at halftime. Like if they'd have stayed the type of games like Michigan State, Louisville, Gonzaga, if they'd have finished that way, Alabama, like they'd have finished the way that I don't want to have to think about how bad it would be right now. So look,
guess what? You don't have to.
You don't have to. You've shot confidence into the program again, into the fan base. The good thing is that truly the SEC is not stacked. It's not. Every team is beatable. No, everyone's kind of beating up on each other because there's no dominant teams. Everyone's got their own faults, and so that you're right there with them. Right, that's going to be the benefit. Is that now you're talking about playing Texas and Ole Miss at home in your next two games. Like, you've got a really good chance. Like, you need to win those two games. Go to 5-2 in the SEC. You're talking about a completely different season. If you're staring at 14-6 compared to what could have been if you lost the last two games and being down that much. So, everything's changed. Now, as far as identity goes, I hope this is not our identity. Like, where something's going to happen. Because here's the thing. The biggest thing, too, the comebacks, check out our 3-point percentage in the second half. I think we hit 8 against LSU in the second half, 6 or something like that, 6 or 7 against Tennessee in the second half. We went 9, 10, and 11 threes in our last 3 games. We hadn't hit, 30? We hadn't hit 30 all season, maybe. We've hit 30 in the last 3 games. So maybe this is the 3-point shooting team that Mark Pope says he saw in practice that he was seeing. So let's hope that that's the case. I don't want to have to rely on us hitting, knowing that what we shot beforehand. I don't want to have to rely on us shooting like 8 to 9. So you got to figure out a way to get that momentum going in the first half. Like, you just can't rely on that every time because it will eventually catch up to you. But if you find a way to transfer the second half type play to the first half at all, then you got a little something going on. But if it is their identity, then at the very least, that they are not going to give up and they're going to play hard, and that type of effort will get you some wins. Maybe you're not going to be the most talented team. Maybe you'll run into a tough shot. I don't know what the ceiling is for this team, I don't think it's national championship, but I do think it's higher than what it was 2 weeks ago. But I mean, maybe we find a way to put it all together and stop this. I mean, I think I saw Matt Jones put something about us. We had played how many? 7 or
7.
8? 7.
7.
What was it?
Power
D1 or
conference
Power
or
5, Power
yeah.
something conference, and all 7 games we've been down double digits. Like,
Oh, I would love to know the total. I heard it on some or read it.
well, I
can't
mean, let's think
remember.
about it.
The total amount, though, first half, how much
80
we have
something.
been down by.
Oh,
It was
collectively.
we were minus 83 in the first half, but we were plus
Yeah.
52 or 51 or something like that in the second half.
Are you talking about like plus like points?
Yes.
Yeah.
We outscored opponents. Power
By
4 opponents by plus 52 in the second half. But we were minus 80 something, minus like
Yeah, it's not
83
good.
in the first half. No, against Power 4. So you're talking you've played 5 SEC games now, and you played how many? What, like 5 Power 4? So you played like
Michigan
10 games,
State,
and in
North
10
Carolina,
games,
Louisville, Indiana,
Michigan
St.
State, North
John's. I mean,
Carolina.
you think about all those. We were down in the first half
So
for
you-
every one of those games.
So that's 5. So you're essentially 80. So you're essentially saying you're getting at least down 8, almost double digits to the first half. You get down double digits to the first half.
Yep.
And I mean that's
Not good. But hey,
No.
we're making a comeback at the second
are.
half.
We are.
I think for me, the one thing after watching this game is, I guess my hope has increased a lot because, like, not because we are winning, but after seeing the second half played out at LSU and Tennessee, and spurts of the first half, I can see a team that could go deep in March. I can. Like, I don't know how deep, but
I agree.
if we could just find a way to build those two halves together, because I think it's a great point of what Colton said. Right now we're in the SEC play and it's wide open. Mason, I mean, you have Vandy who loses at home, who everybody thought, who I just can't get on the Vandy train just yet because they've not played anybody away. They beat Bama at home, then they lost to Florida at home. So it's one of those, and before that, they've not played anybody just
lost
great,
to Texas
great.
Too, didn't they? Didn't they lose?
Yeah,
to
they lost
Texas
to
on the
Texas
road.
away. So
At Texas.
so
yeah.
it's right. So it's kind of like I just can't get on that train yet. But you have Arkansas. Arkansas went to Auburn last week, got beat.
killed.
Then on Wednesday night, I thought they looked great. Like, I was like, okay, Arkansas, like, they are the real deal. And then they go and they get destroyed by 14 to Georgia. You have Auburn, who did look good against Arkansas, and then they get beat Wednesday night. I forgot who it was, but then they beat South Carolina. Texas loses at home to Texas A&M. Ole Miss beats Mississippi State at home. LSU beats Missouri. So I mean, like, it's wide open. Like, we are right in the mix of everything. So as far as our guys, what do you think that the guys are like? Are they feeling like Big Blue Nation is back with them? Like, not that maybe as a whole they ever left, but there was a lot of questioning.
Oh, who was it, Mason or me?
Oh, Mason. I said Mason.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't hear you say Mason. Yeah, I mean, I think so.
I was like, what's the long pause here? I thought y'all was frozen for a second. He was like, just staring at me. No, but go ahead.
Who you throwing it to? No, I mean, I think so. You look back at the loss to Missouri, then you look at the beatdown kind of Alabama before that, and obviously the morale around the program, around Big Blue Nation was not great. But then they come back, they have a good win against Mississippi State, kind of clawed their way back, pretty solid win, beat them pretty handily. We go into LSU, have a good comeback win, and now we have this win down in Knoxville. So I think the guys are feeling that too. I don't know if y'all saw the videos afterwards of everybody in the locker room and things. So I think they're starting to. It seems to me like they're starting to have fun again, right? There for a little bit it was like you could see the bickering on the court at all times, and you still see that from one or two. I won't.
Yeah,
say
you still
anybody,
see it a
but
little bit.
Yeah, but I feel like for the most part, like these guys are starting to have fun again, starting to enjoy playing basketball again, which is important, right? I mean, you can't just be going out there every game and being miserable. You see the guys on the bench, like even the guys like Jalen Lowe's not playing, but you see those guys over there on the bench, like everybody's excited, rooting for the team. So I definitely feel like the morale's back up and they're starting to feel that love a little bit again, and I hope we can keep building on that.
Colton, I think it's, you win two, I guess, maybe not big games, like the sense of like it was a huge game, like for us to beat like such a great team. First off, LSU, but Tennessee, I thought was a really high quality win in Knoxville again because they have the pieces. I think absolutely, but you're starting to see a little bit more chatter from maybe some people who might say, "Oh, I thought," and not towards us. I'm not saying like they're saying it towards us. I'm just saying as a whole for those who, "Oh, I thought Mark Pope couldn't coach." What about
Yeah.
what is kind of your thoughts still on that? And this we have to be critical still. I mean, like not as far as like, oh, but we're just being realistic. Like is this something that Mark Pope showed us like he can coach, like or is it one of those things like it was just a good win? Maybe adjustments were made here and there. He's finally starting to possibly figure things out. There's still a lot of improvement. Like, kind of what is your thoughts when you're seeing that, hearing that, reading that?
Yeah, look, the ones that make me the maddest are the ones that uh I won't say any names, but I follow him on Facebook. Uh but he trashes cat like he even made a post about like, oh, I love it. Arkansas went down. Can't I love but then he'll get mad and he'll be like big blue fans won't abandon their coach. But he was the same one that was like when during the Cal time at the end was making all these posts about getting rid, and so that kind of gets on my nerves a little bit. Like you were fine with criticizing a coach like that, which is fine if you want to do that, but don't turn around and I know you love this coach now and don't think that he deserves criticism because he has been warranted criticism 110%. That doesn't mean that he can't coach. That doesn't mean that we've sit here and repeatedly said that we think he's very knowledgeable of the game, that he's very intelligent, that at times but he's probably been a little overwhelmed at times. He's probably let his emotions almost play too much of a factor. How much control over the locker room has he had? Maybe it's actually caused him to get a little more mad and like actually have to take control. So maybe it's been good for him. Also, we still don't have any recruits for next year. Let's just pump the brakes. Like recruiting was another part of it because like DB was talking about the other day, like if something happened, we lost at the end of the year or something, we're always like, but next year, well, if things don't turn, things don't end up well this year, you're kind of like, all right, what's next year? Like where are we like what are we bringing in? So look, I I think obviously Pope can coach. That's not really the issue. There's a lot of factors into coaching though. Calipari is not a great X and O's coach. No one's ever really argued that. But he has a different aspect of coaching that I feel like he's better at than Pope. Pope's got probably different aspects that he's better at than Cal. But here's the truth. One, LSU game, yes, we had to win that game. The Tennessee game was a big win. I 100% am because that gives you a little more leeway. Because when we were talking, we were like, win LSU, lose Tennessee, win these next two games. What I'm saying? Like but it's gave you a little more leeway in case you were to drop one. But I think the biggest thing in my mind, which I play with personally, and I've struggled with it since he's become the coach in the first two teams, and I think some fans are probably like me in a way. I still struggle watching this team and seeing a ceiling of not like maybe it's higher. I don't know. I just don't see a ceiling past like a Sweet 16, Elite Eight. Like I don't see them being that good enough. Not saying they can't win because anyone gets hot. We've seen 10 seeds make the Final Four. I'm just saying like when other teams are at their best and we're at our best, where are we at compared to other teams? At our best, but other teams at their best also. And I just still don't think. I don't know that we're top. I don't know. Maybe we're top 15 maybe top 16 at our
Yeah.
best. I don't know. So and that's where I play with because I'm like, man, like eventually we're gonna run into a team that plays their best and their best is better than our best.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point to be made. However, on the other end of that, though, Mason, you talk about teams getting hot at the right time. maybe we're starting to get hot at the right time. Now, I'm not talking about like in March and but I'm saying a slow collective buildup of we're starting to finally click by ends meet. Hopefully by March, we are getting to our ceiling because you see this happen all the time from teams. I immediately it's funny you said that Colton, you said that teams find a way, they get hot sometimes, that 10 seeds can make it to the Final Fours. You know, I don't know what seed we were. We may be like a 6, 7. What seed was we with the Harrison twins that first year
8.
where they
8.
hit? Okay, we were 8 seed. We get hot. Okay. Most recently, a team that I literally thought of this today was NC State.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
they literally had to win their conference to even make the tournament, and then they make it to a Final Four. A lot of times it's just you get hot and you finally
Yeah.
things just start clicking. I absolutely think this could happen with this team. A lot of it has to do with who you play in matchups come March. But Mason, is it crazy for us to think that, and this is not just coming from a Tennessee win alone. Now, had we looked terrible and got blown out, yeah, I probably wouldn't be saying this, but that's the difference between winning and losing a game like that the way you did. I mean, you literally showed that, hey, we can play, we have heart, we can put 2 and 2 together. It's just if we can get 1/2 and 1/2 together. But Mason, can you see this happening with this team?
I mean, I can. Yeah, based off the last 2 games, like we've talked about. I mean, we've said it all season long. If we can just eliminate these droughts, these slow starts, whatever it may be at some point through the game, I don't see why there's anybody in the country we can't beat. If we can get down 16 to 18 every single game and claw our way back, who's to say if we can't come out and put 2 halves together, we can't beat anybody in the country? And I think part of it too is, and I was thinking about this the other day after we beat Tennessee. Like we get to the point in this season now where we know we don't get Jalen Lowe back the rest of the season. I have this feeling that JQ might be done for the rest of the season, and they probably know that
I
too.
literally was about to say that next. That was going to be our next little thing we get into. So
Yeah.
talk about that.
So maybe it's the point where this team, all season, like, okay, well, we're struggling a little bit right now. We're going to get Jalen Lowe back. We're going to get JQ back. We have our identity whenever we're going to have those two. That's what we've been trying to, build up for this whole season. And now it's like, look, we ain't got them. So it's up to these 7, 8 guys right here, right now. We got our identity. Let's go out here. Let's just play hard-nosed basketball. Try to make it ugly, and I think I'm hoping that their kind of mindset momentum shifted a little bit, right? Like they were just waiting for those guys to come back. Okay, they're going to help us. We're going to be all right. And now it's like, we're not getting them back. So we either got to lock in and tough it out and go get it ourselves, or it's going to be a really long season. And I'm hoping that's the mindset they kind of have right now. Starting to get a little bit momentum, a little bit continuity, playing together, having the same lineups. I feel like Pope was searching so much there at the beginning, trying to figure things out without those guys. So I'm really hoping that, they're starting to find their groove a little bit. And if we can just eliminate those droughts, I think it changes everything for us moving forward.
Colton, is something that's so aggravating that we talked about last episode, but I just cannot help but think about it is had we beat Missouri and North Carolina, we are sitting at 14-4, possibly with tennis or with Texas and Ole Miss coming up to 16-4. Now, you could play devil's advocate and say, well, we did win on last second shot. We did come from
what
17
if we lost
behind.
the last 2 games?
Yes, I agree. But it's just very frustrating with that in play because I agree, Mason. I think that can happen, and that's a great point. This team's mindset may have shifted. Is that they had in mindset that we're waiting for those guys, and those guys ain't coming no more. It's up to these guys that we have right now. The message, though, that Mark Pope is getting in at halftime, I think I would be very intrigued and interested to know what is he saying to get these guys prepared for this second half. I don't know if you all heard his comments, but he said sort of I can't really say exactly what he said, but basically he had said that the first half he wasn't as worried as he used to be after playing the way that they played. But I think we still need to fix that. Like we still
Yeah.
like we still need to fix like coming out and getting down because again, I don't know when. I could be wrong. But I feel like there's going to be a team that's going to shut us out after getting down 15 plus points. I don't know who it's going to be, but it's really hard to do this consistently. And I hope that's not our identity. What are y'all's thoughts on that?
Bulldog.
Uh, yeah. I mean, I I'm not. I feel like he's probably translating at halftime that you have nothing to lose, so you might as well go out there, right? Because I mean, the season's already been what it has been so far. Like you had lost these games by a lot. You went out, so like why not go out there and like give it like everything you got. Try to hit because I mean the way that we've shot the ball is unreal. Like in the second half, like it's really crazy how we've shot the ball, and you just don't like we just didn't see that for the first literally third of the season,
Oh,
first
we
half
thought
of the
we
season
couldn't.
almost. I mean, we
I
hadn't
was really
seen any
worried.
of it. I mean, but now all of a sudden you're hitting, it's not, we're not talking about the whole game. You're hitting 6 to 8 to 9 per in the second half. I mean, that's crazy. But it just seems like they're going out and playing ball. Like it doesn't look scripted, right? They're still not running a lot of great sets here and there, but it's just like they're playing ball. Like, hey, I'm going to take you to the hole. If I get past you, there might be a guy over there in the corner. Right, we saw that a couple more times than we did. Right, Oway or Aberdeen or someone gets to the basket and there's Chandler over there in the corner. Right, but that's not a set. That's not Pope sitting there saying, "Hey," that's kind of your old school cow ball a little bit, where it's like, "Hey, I'm going to trust you to beat your guy, and once you beat
That's
your guy,
crazy.
you decide what to do. Right, make the right decision, take it to the hole, make the right pass, and that's what I think is happening right now, which is what you probably had to do with this team because I think Pope realized that we don't have a point guard anymore. You don't have like just true shooters around, although they are shooting better. So like,
Mm-hmm.
how do we create? Get it in the hands of your two guys that have your best chance of creating it, Aberdeen and Oway, and then see what happens. Right? They either going to take the shot, they're going to make a play for someone else.
I mean, one thing I really got real quick want to add is what about what about Aberdeen's shot at the end to go up 3 or up 2, or was it up?
It was
Three.
How
up
many was
3.
it up?
The floater was
Uh,
a go up 3.
The lefty.
yeah, to go up, yeah, with the lefty. I mean, that was
Yeah,
very, very
tough.
impressive.
That's
I
tough.
And then also I did like towards the end of the game, I was really liking Mark Pope's timeouts. I loved them. Like to make sure we get a good like what we think would be a good set. But it's usually better than what it is if we don't get a timeout. So I think Mark Pope, more importantly with this team, I do believe that Mark Pope is starting to figure this team out. Do I think he has it by the ropes and understands them completely? No, no, by no means. But I do think he is starting to figure them out compared to the Missouri game where it looked like he was still at loss with them. Matchups, he's getting some lineups. Now, yes, it seems crazy he does at times who he's thrown in, but I feel like he's finally getting it. And I think that that's so important for your leader. Mason, go ahead. What do you want to say?
Here's something I want to see more because I feel like the last two games, and I feel like this can help with like eliminating some of these droughts that we go through, right? Is I feel like the last two games, Tennessee game, we go zone. Second half, we start pressing a little bit again. We force a turnover. LSU game, we start pressing a little bit. Like, start throwing some of these things in. If we're going through a scoring drought and teams are just scoring on us, 4 or 5 possessions in a row, throw a wrinkle at them. Throw a zone. Throw a press at them. Try to slow them down a little bit in the half court. Make them take a bad shot, right? They get across half court. If we press, they can only run one good set, and they're trying to go one-on-one and beat somebody. Zone, throw a zone at them. Make them take a contested three so we can
Mm-hmm.
get out in transition, and that can lead to our offense, get a bucket, stop the bleeding a little bit. And I really want to see more of that. I feel like he hasn't done it. He didn't do it till the end of the first half in the Tennessee game. He didn't do it until the second half of the LSU game. Like, this team, we cannot go through these droughts with this team. So do something to try to break up that other team's rhythm. Get us out in transition. Get us some buckets, whatever it may be. But I want to see more of that going forward because I feel like that has really helped create a spark for us the last two games.
Yeah, I really like the three-quarter court press. I think it really helps us and it slows them down. The shot clock gets later by the time that they cross half court. One last thing before we jump on to our new segment. Are we going to miss Brandon Garrison when he leaves? Because it seems like the guy's always in it with a team. Like, are we going to miss that? Colton, you going to miss some BG?
No, I'm not going to miss him, but I will say if he will just become an only role player, and I mean like we don't give him more than like now. Granted, if JQ don't come back, Moreno's not in good enough shape to play 28, 30 minutes a game. Like he just don't have the shape.
Then
Like
you
he's
split,
not.
But that's the good of
That's
Jelic,
a
and you can.
correct. But if Garrison can play like a 12-minute game, and when he gets in there, know that his job is to like rebound and play
Give a
defense
couple
and
hard
like maybe some
fouls.
pick and
Right.
roll. Yeah, just something like that. Like if he just
Make him
really
think
accepts
twice
the
about
role
coming in
player,
there.
I'm fine with Garrison, but at no point does he need to be the center of anything. I mean, he does just
Well,
not
he's
need
the
to be
center of it
anywhere.
whenever we get into it with other teams. I mean, he
Yeah,
wants all the
yeah, he
smoke.
got
Mason,
yeah, he always.
are you gonna miss Brandon Garrison and him getting the smoke with other teams?
Am I going to miss Brandon Garrison's basketball IQ and basketball play? No. Will I miss his fire and not being scared to get in there and mix it up a little bit? Sure. But like Colton said, he just needs to be able to come in. Hey, Brandon, I'm going to put you in for 4 minutes here. Go snag a couple rebounds. And if somebody gets an open look, you foul them hard to make them think twice about coming in here again. All right?
Yeah,
Got it, coach.
And go sit down.
Yeah.
Yeah, but seriously, I felt like that was going to happen. At that point, I had like almost ran outside and was screaming. I had to get it out. Like I was just so happy. It was just amazing. Again, I mean, do y'all hate Tennessee as much as I do? Like I mean, like,
Yes.
would you rather beat Tennessee or Louisville? Like I mean, seriously, I would rather
I
beat
can't.
Tennessee. I can't stand Tennessee.
Give me a situation. I guess I don't know. If I
Yeah.
met them both, if I met them both in the NCAA tournament, I would rather beat Louisville.
Same.
In the
Well,
regular
now we're getting
season,
to
I think I
situational.
prefer Tennessee. Just because, like, look, well, like Louisville's won. Like Louisville's actually, if you want to break down Louisville's basketball history, they were a top 10 program in the history of college basketball. Like that's what it did. Like
Yeah,
Tennessee, at the end of the day, has never even reached the final. Yeah, they've never reached the Final Four. So I'm not like they ain't never real. They're never
It was
going
in
to
my
have
song.
it. They're never going to
I
have
mean,
it up on us on any of that.
should
Like that's not
should
even
I
going to get
sing it again?
close. So I
I still
mean,
think if they,
Louisville,
I still
Louisville
think if
can,
we don't,
yeah.
I still think if
Go
we
ahead.
don't beat them twice last year, we beat them in the Sweet 16. It's so hard to beat a team 3 times. You know, I think it was just they were due to get a win against us last year. But
Well, I mean, it also, if you look back, they went 11 for like 67 from three in the 2 games we played them in.
Yeah,
Remember, like
they were. I do remember that.
they
It
went
was
11
awful.
for 67 in the 2 games we played them in the regular season. I was like, they're not going to shoot that bad. Like they can't possibly shoot that bad again. Those are the little things that I pick up on. Like I'm like, hey, like you get the win, but like you can't rely on that team doing that again. Like I can't rely on a team giving up a 20-point lead every time. Like I can't.
Yeah.
Like,
No, I agree. All right. Well, that's enough Kentucky stuff. Let's get into. We're going to do a little blind ranking, and then we'll get into some football before we close it out. And then I really want to sing my Rocky Top song again. I might sing it at the end of the episode. But let's get into this blind ranking. So this blind ranking is a little different. Colton over there saying no. I was about singing it. This blind ranking is titled "Awkward Situations." Okay.
okay.
So we're going to do awkward situations 1 through 5. 1 is being like the worst. So like if whatever you put at 1, like that's the most awkward situation. 5 being the least. Now, again, I also want to add this, or not again, I just want to go ahead and add this, that this does not mean like you've ever experienced it. I'm sure some of these you have, but just in general for the average human being, what you all would place these for awkward situations. Here we go. You got to work together on this.
as a
Number
team?
1,
Okay.
yes, you're a team. Number 1, forgetting to mute yourself while talking about someone in a meeting for work.
Oh man.
Oh man, that's who.
That's gotta be up there.
I'm
That's
assuming
gotta
we're
be up
talking.
there.
I'm assuming we're talking bad, right? Like if we're, I'm
Oh,
assuming
yeah.
it's a
Like
bad.
you,
Like it's
you
a.
are,
Gosh,
you
they won't
forget you're
shut up.
muted and you're talking bad about someone in the entire
That's
meeting.
bad. That's bad. That would be bad.
I'm
Like
fine
that
with
would be.
And
putting
this
I
was
mean,
awkward
that's.
situations.
I mean, that could be your entire livelihood. I mean, for all you know, if you're talking about the right person, I mean, that could affect your entire. Like that could be it. Like I mean, again, I'm going 1. I mean, that's it. Like that's game changer. Like I'd rather. I mean,
man. I'm fine with one. I think there's gonna be something maybe worse. That's really bad though. So yeah, I'm fine with one.
I mean, that's bad. Like that. I mean, that affects everything.
Yeah, yeah, I'm fine with it.
You just sit here and be like, Colton's on, thinks he's on mute and he's sitting there bashing me. And Mason, he's like, man, this guy can't sing Rocky Top for nothing. He needs to go back. Yeah, I get it. I get it. So, but have
You
you
have a
ever
good day.
experienced that? I mean,
No, I mean,
he did.
Knock on wood.
Have you ever, okay, maybe not talk bad about somebody, but have you ever been on mute or you
No.
think you're on mute and you talk in a meeting?
don't think
no,
so.
I mean,
Now, for the Blind Rankins purposes, I was saying, yes, you're talking bad, but I'm just saying in general, have you all ever been not on mute and you think you are and you just talking?
Luckily, I've never heard it either. 'cause
Okay,
I'd get
that's good.
secondhand embarrassment for them.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're putting that at 1. Man, that's already took your 1 spot. Okay, number 2, farting in public and pretending it wasn't you. And
Five.
everybody
man.
knowing it was you.
5.
I don't
That's a
care.
daily. Oh, Mason.
Man, I'll crop dust all of Walmart.
Even the old lady in the checkout, she's just looking at you. Man. Oh, if only the viewers knew what
I gotta go.
oh man. Okay, so forgetting to mute yourself is at 1. Farting in a public place and everybody knowing it was you, pretending it wasn't, is 5. All right, here we go.
Absolutely.
Toilet paper stuck to your shoe while walking around after using the restroom.
4. I mean,
Yeah, 4.
all right,
ain't that
Mason.
worried
I
about
mean,
that.
I mean, heck, what are they gonna say? Oh, there's toilet paper stuck to your shit. Hey, I may went
At
in
least
there
a
just.
light.
I didn't even go to the stall. Well, maybe I didn't even go into the stall. I could have just been a nasty bathroom. Like you just,
Very
Oh
true.
man.
I mean, hey,
Very true.
I mean, you could have went into a gas
4.
station bathroom and there's stuff all over the floor. I mean, heck, I'd rather, I could come up with a bunch of different stories rather than. But yeah,
All
4.
right,
4.
so
We're
y'all got
4.
so y'all going 4 on that one. All right, so that means you have your 2 and 3 spot left. Accidentally liking an old photo of your ex.
Whoa.
Wait, I'm assuming this means you also get caught by current, like.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Like it's awkward. That's
Oh,
like yeah,
that's
you're
true.
getting caught
All right.
because it's like an awkward
Right.
moment between not only you, it's
true.
not only awkward, it's awkward between 3 people. You, your ex, and your current girlfriend or whatever it is. Like how awkward is that?
Deuces.
2. 2.
So right away,
For sure.
Colton, are you going
For
with 2?
sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm in. Yeah, I'm in it too.
All right, so you had forgetting to mute yourself in a meeting, talking bad about somebody at 1, the farting in the public place 5, toilet paper stuck on your feet 4, accidentally liking an old photo of an ex 3. The last one, which is going to go into your 3 spot, is saying you too at the wrong time. So, for example, this happens to me a
like-
lot. And it's so awkward.
Oh,
Whenever, if you were to say, hope you enjoy your meal, you too, and they don't have a meal, thinking they're going to have a good day. So that's what. So does that ever happen to you all? Like literally, it just happened to me the other day.
yeah. I
And I
mean,
was
I've
like,
done. Yeah.
that makes.
I mean, I
It's-
think that's.
it's
I think
so
that's
awkward
perfect
after, I
list
feel like.
personally by putting it at 3. I think
I do
that's a
too. I think
perfect
we made
list.
the perfect list, Bulldog.
I mean, that was money. Money.
Absolutely.
So I tried to mix it up tonight because usually I give like the worst one last. So I was trying to go first, so y'all maybe could throw it in like at the middle. So good job on y'all's part, you know. I might have to really, really mix it up next time on our blind ranking. All right, we got roughly like 12 minutes left before we hit that hour mark, which is where the time we like to get at. So let's get into some NFL playoffs. Does either one, Mason, you want to take a lead on this?
Sure. I mean, my biggest thing I want to talk about is the Bills game. All right. I know everybody here knows I'm a Packers fan, but I really like Josh Allen too. Okay. I think Josh Allen, I think he's a great dude. I think he's a fun dude, great personality. I also think he's a great quarterback. So anytime that the Bills are not playing the Packers. I'm pulling for the Bills just because I really like Josh Allen. And I'll just say this: the Bills got hosed. All right, and y'all can sit here and say, well, Josh Allen's fumble at the end of the first half, blah blah blah. Get out of here. All right, I understand that was a bad decision for him, but we're talking here in overtime. The same thing happened in the Rams game tonight. Did y'all see that with Davante Adams?
It did.
Did y'all see
It did.
Davante Adams? He has a catch. His knee hits the ground, and the defender rips it away from him, and they let the Rams keep possession. Same thing happens. Brandon Cooks catches a ball. His knee hits the ground. He should be down by contact. The tie goes to the offense, right? Should have been Bill's ball. That would have been ball game. And then Broncos get the ball back. They call it was 3rd and 10, I think. They call a pass interference. That was crazy to me. The second one maybe more so, but that first one was ridiculous in my eyes. I mean, they've been doing that all game. It's overtime in a playoff game. Like, let them play. You're going to let them win a game on a penalty call? That is bogus to me. And then they do another one.
Kind of remind me of the Chiefs, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what makes me even more mad now is they don't even have Bo Nix. Like they're about to get destroyed.
Right, like
next game, more than likely.
Like, even if they don't, I don't want to go watch Jared Stidham play either the Seattle Seahawks or Stafford. Like, I don't.
Right. Exactly.
No, I'm in
Exactly.
agreement. So
So
that was a game that was thing. I mean, yeah. I mean, I hate it for Josh Allen and the Bills. I mean, just because.
Y'all see the post game stuff?
Oh yeah. I mean, look. I mean, he cares. And thing is like he's obviously still in his prime, but I hate that the Bills have not surrounded him with more. And up until, truth be told, of every playoff game that he's played so far in his career, that was probably the worst one, and he still made several great plays. Like that was probably the worst one. Like that's what's heartbreaking about it is that you can look at some other quarterbacks and be like, okay, when they got to the playoffs, they weren't clutch. Like they folded, like all this stuff. But like he's not. Like he's balled out against Patrick Mahomes in every one of those playoff games. But then like the defense gives up something or a player drops something or something. And then so it's heartbreaking because he's so good, and yet like you don't know how many more times like when does a window close? I mean, some of these now the Patriots are all of a sudden coming alive, and now some of these other teams are starting to get better, and it's just going to get tougher for them to make it. So yeah, that was a tough game. Well, I don't think we had to talk about the Seattle and 49ers game. 49ers, great run for what they had. I mean, they were just so beat up. They never had a chance. I mean, so many injuries. And I mean, Kittle won, and Tonjes went out, and McCaffrey had it. So that, I mean, that game they killed them. Obviously, the game today, C.J. Stroud does not, just to run down, C.J. Stroud does not look like he did since his rookie year.
Yeah, he looks like a completely different player.
I do think the Patriots, they play the Broncos. They got to go do Denver. Denver's defense is still going to muddy that game up even without Bo Nix. But I do think the Patriots as a complete team is the best team, like between those two. And I would like to see the Patriots of those two teams make it to the Super Bowl. But man, the real game is tonight's game. The Rams.
Oh yeah.
And Rams and the Bears will go into overtime. Just multiple opportunities there for either team to kind of win it and come back. But what about the play at the end of the game? I mean, how does that happen? I mean, is it more of a?
I don't understand how that coverage.
Are you sitting there thinking how do you let that happen, or are you thinking more of like what a play by Caleb Williams? Like which one?
I'm thinking of. For me personally, I am absolutely thinking, how does that happen?
Yeah,
not because it wasn't even like one of those throws that like it was in such tight coverage, and he like was literally like it was more luck than it was like talent. Right. So it'd be different if he was like running out of the pocket and he sees an opening and makes a bullet throw. It's got to be perfect. Yeah, this guy would just threw it up in the air towards what he's seen at the time was one of his guys or two of his guys. I think it's just more blown covers. Like, how in the world does that happen? For me personally, I just don't. And had they not won that game, I would. That would have been a tough one. But, I think all of us was pulling for the Rams. But real quick, let's talk a little bit about that Caleb Williams. We talked about before the pre-show here, like before we hopped on here. Caleb Williams, I still am very, I'm not saying I'm a fan of his. I think that he has a lot of talent. I think he's going to be a really good player in the league. I think obviously he's got to make some better decisions, but I think he has the talent, man. I do. And I think that, he's got Ben Johnson in there now, a really, really good coach to help him hopefully grow. I think he absolutely has a lot more talent than, Colton, you had a good comparison like a Drake May, who's also an upcoming star right now. Like you give me the pick, I'm going Caleb Williams. Now, a lot of people would probably say Drake May with the system that he's in and makes better decisions, but I think he has it. He's just got to make his decisions. Got to be better.
I think he's overrated. I said
Yeah.
it before the show.
No, I agree.
I said it.
Yeah. Same.
I said it earlier this year. I don't think the Bears can win a Super Bowl with him at quarterback because I think if you take his legs away from him, he's not a top 20 quarterback in the league. I think that's the only thing that makes him, gives him that talent. Yes, I mean, he can throw a bullet, but his ability to get out of the pocket, he reminds me, he doesn't run as much as a Lamar Jackson, but he reminds me of a Lamar Jackson, right? I mean, he can get out of the pocket and scramble and make plays, but his accuracy and his inconsistency is going to be the downfall of him. And that's why I think he's overrated. Now, like, one of my buddies texted me earlier, and he was like, better than Jordan Love. And I was like, more talented? Probably. But a better passer, more accurate passer? No. Like, I don't think either one of them are good enough to win a Super Bowl. And that's just my hot take on Caleb Williams. I mean, I get it. They're not going to get rid of him. But
yeah, that is a hot take. A top 20 quarterback without his legs. I don't even think his legs is all that great. I mean, I think they're good, but I don't think they're absolutely like phenomenal.
No. I definitely think they are. Like, because the plays that he makes are because he extends it. When he's in the pocket, he had the very worst accuracy in the league. Like, he was the very worst quarterback in the league in accuracy this year. But the plays he's making is because he's buying time for his receivers to get open, and he's getting the defense off balance when he gets out of the pocket. But just they were talking about tonight, they were 1 for 4 on fourth down, and he didn't leave the pocket on any of his fourth down plays. Like, they ran it once, and then the 3 other plays, like he pushed one, like he ran it once with them, but the other 2 like passes, like he made like inaccurate passes, and he never left the pocket. And he did the same thing tonight. Like he missed so many throws though. He makes some amazing throws, like he did at the end, off balance or whatever else, but he just misses so many of the easy throws. And so it's hard to tell. The arm is so strong, the ability to move out of the pocket, and he does have like the ability to make some unreal passes. Like I'm 100% credit to him on all that and his talent. But as far as, if you gave, like I said, I told him, we talked about it beforehand, but you talked about Rodgers, and you talked about, now granted, Rodgers is still more of like a pocket type guy, but Rodgers used his legs a lot more than Brady did, right? It helped Rodgers make some unreal throws. But as far as just like controlling the game as a quarterback, like winning football games as a quarterback, you were going to take Brady over Rodgers just because of the way he goes about his job. And I think that's where like Drake May reminds me more of that type of version than Caleb Williams. And that's why I think Drake May will probably play more winning football than what Caleb Williams will, just truthfully.
Well, maybe that's a good discussion we can bring on and have, whenever we have more time on that. Because, I think there is something that, could be said on both sides. Y'all make some good points, but I need to do a little bit more research, and I'll bring up my points next time. But anyways, thanks for everybody for listening tonight. Such a big win for Kentucky as we move into our next game, which is going to be against the Texas Longhorns. And that will be played at Rupp Arena. Appreciate y'all listening, and tune in next time on Bluegrass State of Mind. As always, go Cats.
Go Cats.
That's a wrap for this episode of Bluegrass State of Mind. If you enjoyed the show, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss an episode. Also, be on the lookout for our social media pages and be sure to follow them. We've got plenty more stories, insights, and conversations coming your way. And if you really loved it, make sure to share it with a friend. From the hills to the hollers, thanks for tuning in. Until next time, keep that Kentucky spirit strong.